Love, it's something that every human being seeks out at one point or another in their lives. The best kind of love is the love that awakens the soul. It makes us urge to reach for more than what we have, more than what we currently are. It plants a fire in our hearts that smolders, running a tight heat between your breastbone and your heart. When you see that person that you love more than your own family, it brings you a type of peace that you hope to preserve with the person you built that foundation with. It's something that you want to give to someone forever. It's your most cherished possession that you can give to someone. Not everyone is lucky enough to know those feelings, and sadly, too many of us know the heart-twisting pain that comes from losing someone that you love, especially when they die in a way that you're helpless to stop, and all you can do is just watch them suffer, no matter how hard you wish you could trade places with them. Love can lead to great joy, but knowing love also means that you run the risk of knowing the despair that comes from losing love. Those of you who know what's happened in my personal life this year, you know just how hard that is for me to say right now, and you know just what I mean by this. Now, this brings us to Kakashi Hokage. If there's anyone in the Naruto-verse who knows the highs and the lows of loving someone, it's definitely Kakashi Hokage. He adored his father, and he was crushed when his father was made into an outcast by the village for choosing to save his comrades over completing his own mission. It led to him taking his own life, bleeding out in a room where his only son Kakashi could discover him. It was a moment that changed Kakashi forever. Kakashi, as we know, became very cold-hearted, but over time, his interactions with the members of Team Minato began to thaw out his heart. Before Obito was crushed by the boulders and left for dead, he succeeded in thawing out part of Kakashi's heart. In the time afterwards, Rin developed a bond so great with Kakashi that killing her caused Kakashi to shed tears. Minato dying on the anniversary of Ren's death pushed Kakashi further into the darkness until he became the sensei to Minato's son, Naruto Uzumaki. As we all know, Kakashi never settled down. In another video, I've already detailed the tragic love story between Kakashi and Kaio, which I'll leave linked in the end credits of this video for you guys to check out later. In that video, I asked you all if you wanted more from the Kakashi Hiden novel, and a lot of you guys asked me to cover the scene where Kakashi met Kaio for the first time. You all have asked, I've heard your request, and here's the video. What I'll do for you guys now is read all the selected passages from this moment, bringing the scene to life as best as I can. After that, I'll come back to you guys with a brief analysis. In this scene, Kakashi is standing with Tazuna, watching in awe as the first civilian airship built by the Land of Waves is about to take flight. Numerous of wealthy people piled onto the large airship, much in the same way that numerous of wealthy people piled onto the Titanic over a century ago. It's in this moment that Kakashi meets Kaio and truly first understands what it means to experience love at first sight, and it's here that I'm gonna begin quoting. No, wait, please wait. A woman holding up the hem of a long flowing blue dress came running at top speed. I'm getting on the ship as well. Clutched in her hand, she waved wildly over her head the invitation ticket. Just as she was about to run past Kakashi, the woman tripped on her heels and pitched forward. She cried in a small voice as her body was thrown into the air. Almost reflexively, Kakashi caught her. In the confusion, their eyes met. Flowing, curly hair, slightly parted thin lips, large, moist eyes, open in surprise. Kakashi looked deeply into them. Time stopped for a moment. So too did the world, at least to Kakashi it did. There was only this woman, nothing else. The woman rested in Kakashi's arms, the long dress against her skin, his soft hair across his face, softly tickling the end of his nose as she raised her head. Kakashi and the woman avoided meeting eyes as she got back to her feet. He could tell she was just as embarrassed as he was as she lifted the hem of her dress and once more ran off towards the ship. People sure do get excited about going on a sightseeing trip. Carpentry, it's such a wonderful occupation, Kakashi said, feeling Tazuna's eyes on him. She's really a beautiful woman too, Kakashi. I'm sure that you noticed. Speaking of occupation, when are you having your big day? Isn't the Hokage inauguration like a wedding between you and Konoha? It's been over a year. Everyone's expecting so much from you. I can see why you have so many doubts. For instance, suppose that beautiful woman just now was seriously chasing after you to marry her. No matter how beautiful she may be, a man's heart is gonna flinch at that, just like yours just did. End quote. Now what's really interesting about this is that Kakashi went as far as to say that there was only this woman in the world during the moment that she was in his arms. For Kakashi, someone who has Kage level intelligence, to be that flustered to the point where he uses a lame diversion of trying to engage Tazuna in a conversation about carpentry is pretty telling. Kakashi's mind for a brief moment was in disarray, or in layman's term, Kakashi had a brain fart because he saw someone really attractive. Later on in the novel, when Kakashi meets Kaio again, he has a similar reaction. He's drawn in by her beauty, but the second time that he meets her, he at least has enough wit about him that he actually speaks to her, even though the situation is less than ideal because he and Might Guy are about to enter into a fight, and yes, it's the same guy who is currently in a wheelchair. Even someone like Tazuna was able to pick up on the intense moment that Kakashi and Kaio shared. After all, he did tease Kakashi for a bit, and he went as far as comparing Kakashi becoming Hokage to marrying a beautiful woman like Kaio, giving yet another subtle dig at the very discomforted Kakashi during this time. Like I've detailed in quite a few other videos, Kakashi held off on becoming 6th Hokage after the 4th Great Ninja War, and people outside the village began to take notice of the fact that over a year had passed and he hadn't formally accepted the position yet. It's really a twist of fate to have Kakashi and Kaio, two star-crossed lovers, meet on a mission that would cause Kakashi to take up the mantle of 6th Hokage after it was over. One was a Kage-elect waiting to formally take up the position by taking on a ceremony in front of the Hidden Leaf Village, much in the same way that Minato and Tsunade did. The other was a dangerous criminal armed with a Kekkei Genkai and driven by her hatred for the 5 great nations. It was a love story that we never got to see in the Naruto anime because the Naruto Shippuden anime never adapted these novels, and the ones that they did adapt, as you guys know from watching my videos, they were quite the clusterfuck when you compare them to the original source material. So what did you guys think? Do you want more information from the Kakashi Heed novel? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that bell to enable notifications. Have an awesome day guys.